systems where today if you go to your parents and says, I'm going to start a company, maybe most of the time your parents are going to encourage it or maybe they're going to fund it. But back in 10 years from here, there is no such thing called startup ecosystem. Where I took a bold step, trusting the technology, like 3D printing is going to be the future. I started up the company. The main motive behind starting up the company is to build 3D printers. There were expensive machines back then that time, and we know how to build a machine. So I had this crazy idea, I'm going to make a 3D printer, I'm going to sell it to the market. So I started the company all alone as a single person with no funding, and what the trick I found is to do trainings. So from the first day of the company, for nearly 9 months, I was doing training, every weekend, every day. So I'm teaching people what is 3D printing, what are the benefits of 3D printing. I was doing more of trainings where in that time, we had less conversion of people from training to actually giving some orders. So after 9 months, I got into this dilemma of what am I doing? I started the company to build machines, but I didn't gather funding to do it. What am I doing here? The fun fact here is, I didn't say any of this to my parents. My parents believed that I'm working in a company all this time. And when I actually said them after 6 months, that there was very huge, good reactions. And this is the point where I start, where am I going to move? So am I going to close the company or how am I going to move forward? So I got a call from this lovely university. It's actually called Lovely Professional University in Punjab, where I've been asked to do a big event at their space. That is my first ever college event, which gave me the motivation to actually, okay, I've reached a milestone, I'm going to do something better. So that was my down point where I'm doubting myself, did I make a wrong decision, which led me to again get the motivation to keep going. So the first 9 months of my startup journey is the toughest, and I categorize my another journey into another 9 months. The second 9 months is called building 3D printers. So I gathered funding, we got into printer manufacturing, we hired people, we hired electronics engineers. I'm from a mechanical engineering background, I need electronics engineers. We hired electronics engineers. We built this rough prototype to very fine-tuned printer in 9 months. And again, the unfortunate thing happened. We were so busy focusing on making a perfect product, we didn't went out to the market and saw what happened. But at the end of the 9 months, the Chinese machines or the abroad printers influence has started a lot. The rate at which we could do machine in India is nowhere near possible to the rate which it's getting imported. So and again that became a failure where we couldn't launch our machine, our own small compact machine. So again, how I came out of that thing is I made a good decision there where I decided to go into services. All the knowledge we have how to build machines, we decided let's get into services, let's meet people, let's talk to every industry and then see how it goes. And when we put up our first office, these were all in a 2 BHK apartment and all that. When we really put up our first office, we had this first call from Tata Aerospace. We got a call saying that Kamal, we are this Singapore wooden models coming from realistic plane models. It is getting damaged. Can you make a 3D printed thing for me? I have 4 days only time for a defense expo. We took it as a challenge and used all our machines and come up with a model to be painted and all the realistic featuring of an Airbus A295. And that is my first very big or a corporate order. That gave us a motivation. There is a huge scope in 3D printing where every day we were seeing new clients. We were seeing doctors coming in office saying that, Kamal, can you print MRI images? We have this beautiful DICOM images in MRI where you can actually form it into 3D shape. You can print a bone, you can print a brain, you can give it to a doctor before the surgery. He can actually do a mock surgery before even he goes to a surgery. This is called pre-surgical models. So, and this started taking off. So very soon, we opened our biggest offices. Within 1 year, we opened another biggest offices. From a 1 machine shop, we have become a 50 machine shop. We have clients from every industries, starting from aerospace, medical, engineering parts, and I